on, guys? It's Sunday. Pretty sure this is the start of a new video. I got a lot of editing to go through and shit, but I'm pretty sure this is the start of the video. So I drove the car home last night with the eBay turbo on, and I made it no problem. So I wanted to recap a little bit about how the drive went and things that I did. So the turbo is definitely laggy. I didn't get full boost until, I couldn't really tell exactly, but somewhere around 4,500 RPM max. Like I'm thinking maybe 43, somewhere between 43 and 45. But the car was extremely slow on wastegate pressure. It was like, it spiked to like 15, and then it tapered down to 11, and that's where it held. And that shit was just way too slow for me. So I'm free boosting again. I just stopped on the side of the road, kinked the wastegate line here with a zip tie, and that allows me to build maximum boost. And I was expecting it like to wrap the boost gauge like my 16G did, but it didn't really do that. It spiked to like 30 and held at 25. I'm not sure why exactly, but it's good. It's definitely not a bad thing. I noticed a boost leak, I'm pretty sure, because I could hear like sounds like a supercharger whine. Usually that's a boost leak. So I'm going to do a boost leak test real quick. I don't know where it's at exactly. I don't think it's the intercooler piping that we made. There could be like a little pinhole in there from like a weld or something, but I highly doubt it. I bet it's probably, I don't know, something stupid probably. So I'm gonna do a boost leak test real quick and see if I can find any leaks. I gotta put a clip on this wastegate actuator arm where it connects to the lever because I forgot to bring it with me to Kurt's. So that's here somewhere. I gotta find that, put that clip on. I'm gonna do a boost leak test real quick. There she is. Alright, so boost leak tester is on. I'm gonna start putting some air to the system. Alright, so I found a boost leak. It was doing this on Ivy a little bit too. It's leaking from the throttle body. Hopefully it's just leaking from one of these gaskets. If not, it could be leaking from the shaft itself maybe, but it's not a huge leak, but definitely something I want to take care of soon. So at some point I'm going to pop this throttle body off and at least change the throttle body gaskets. It's leaking from the throttle body to the manifold side. So at some point I'll pull this off and swap the gasket out. I just pulled the throttle body off. This is the old gasket. It's a metal gasket, so I'm going to see if one of these will work instead of the metal gasket. Trying to see if I have any more that aren't brand new in a bag, but I'm going to get this put on there and hopefully don't leak no more. Alright, so here's the new gasket. It's on. I'm going to put the throttle body on now, put it all back together and do another boost leak test, and it shouldn't leak anymore. Alright, did another boost leak test, no more leak, and I also fixed that shaft leaking too. I just tightened this nut up on the throttle body. Alright, so I got my Evo III 16G back from Justin. I'm going to pop it out of the box real quick and see what it looks like. It's probably going to look brand new and like perfect and beautiful like they always do when they come back from Justin. So right out of the gate there's a new oil return line gasket, or two. Looks like just one that he gives you. Justin's a really good guy and he's really smart. This guy, there's nobody better when it comes to building the MHI turbos and whole sets and shit, in my opinion, especially in this area. Everything about Justin, it's amazing. The quality, the just talking to him, he's very intelligent, very nice guy. He knows what he's doing. He goes above and beyond to make sure he sends a really, really nice product back to you. He even gave me my old shit back. This is what blew apart. That's crazy. Alright, there she is. Looks brand fucking new because it basically is. See the old JW initials in there. I love getting turbos back from this guy because they always look so goddamn good. Everything is just so nice. So Kurt and Sam just got here. I got some more presents to show you guys. Got some D2 coilovers last night from my buddy Jim. I called AutoZone to order some struts. He works at AutoZone. And I was just gonna get a set of rear struts, and then he's like, or you could buy my coilovers. So I ended up buying these. Picked them up last night. So we'll do the turbo tonight and put these on tonight. And then hopefully my fucking tires don't rub nearly as much as they've been with the blown struts. Alright, so I'm putting the turbo together. The old manifold, new turbo, blah blah blah. And Kurt is taking the old shit off. So we're just kind of tag teaming this right now. Alright, so got the turbo off. Kurt's gonna try and tighten up this stud here that's been loose and leaking. It's not really loose, it's just leaking. I got the new turbo together with the old manifold and the old setup here. J-pipes on. So that's gonna be ready to go. I gotta put this line on actually. What do I do with it? Look, you even put the part number on it, bud. You even put the part number on it for me. So I gotta put this line on real quick because we're gonna be. Oh yeah, before you put the turbo on, Kurt, we gotta take that plug out.
Oh yeah.
And we're putting coolant back on the turbo. So this line has to go on. We gotta remove this plug here, and then we can throw the other piece in. Where is the other piece, Kurt?
I don't know.
Alright, so here's the EB turbo off. Still no shaft play or nothing. But yeah, it's just, this turbo sucks, honestly. It's so fucking laggy. Didn't get full boost or anything close to full boost to like 4,500 RPM. And honestly, it didn't really have that much power either, so it carried it. I carried it all the way through red line, which was weird. I had just raced a pickup truck that was trying to pass me last night, Kurt. And same thing as last time when I was on the way to your house almost. And then I fucking thought I broke something because I bounced off the rev limiter again. Because I'm not used to going that far, you know? But anyway, this turbo did its job. It was a temporary turbo, and we just proved that tonight because it's already off. 2 weeks and 1 day, I think. Well, no, 2 weeks of the day, actually, because we didn't finish it till Saturday. Or Sunday. Saturday. Anyway. This little guy is going up on a shelf for another rainy day. Hopefully I never need it again. So what I'm doing here is I'm setting the ride height. And all I'm doing is I'm measuring from these two top plates to the base right here, to the bottom of this collar, or the bottom of this ring, to the top of the collar. And I'm setting it so that way It's about 2 inches, two and an eighth. I'm doing that on both sides, and then I'll lower the car after I put the wheels back on and see what it looks like. I'm just gonna do the same thing with each side. So now I just gotta lower the ride height a little bit more on this side. So I figured I'd show you how I do it. So I got these two rings locked together, so that way the spring doesn't rotate without the actual sleeve here. So you take your spanner wrench, put it on the top one. If you're lowering it, you put it on the top one because it's gonna try to like turn into this one, so that way it won't ever loosen up. If I was going up, if I want to raise the car, I'd come on the bottom one here and turn it towards the top ring. So anyway, put your spanner wrench on there, and you see the whole thing, the whole sleeve is turning, and what that's doing is it's threading this whole sleeve part down into the collar, and in turn that's going to lower the car. So I'm going to put this back. I'm measuring from the bottom of the spring at the top of these two little plates here to the top of the collar, and I want it to be 2 1/8 of an inch. That's what it is on the other side. So I'm just going to keep turning here. I'm going to quick measure. So from the top of that ring, those two rings, the little washers, to the bottom of the sleeve, it is now, I actually need to go back up a little bit. It's like a 2 1/16 now. So I'm going to go back up slightly, and now I'm going to put the spanner wrench on the bottom ring. Alright, so I'll measure again. Top of the ring. It's close. Let's say just another little couple turns and it should be good. And right there, 2 1/8. So now to lock these, you thread it down all the way, and you're not supposed to use your spanner wrenches to tighten them to lock these in place. So anytime you're locking any of these in place, you're usually locking this one to the collar and the bottom, and then you're usually locking the middle one to the top one. So anytime you go to lock them, what you're supposed to do is get a big flathead and use a hammer and tighten it that way. And same with the top one here. So this side's done. I'll put the tires back on and lower the car back on the ground and see if the front looks any better. So it's back on the ground. This side looks okay. Still would like a tiny bit lower, but the other side is still pretty fucking high. So I don't really understand why they're exactly the same on both sides as far as the adjustments, but I'm gonna try and come down a little bit more on this side, and then it might bring the other side down slightly just by lowering that side. So I'm gonna start by adjusting the other side a little bit lower first and going from there. Alright, so adjusted the other side. Now this side is a lot lower and it's not touching, but it's pretty close. That's like exactly how I want it. So this side's still a little bit lower than I'd like. I don't know why it's so much different than the other side. I don't know if it's just because how the car's sitting or what. This car with the struts and lowering springs, it's always been a little bit higher on this side, but I just can't believe I gotta have that big of a difference between each side as far as the adjustments on a coilover. So jack it back up, take the wheel off again, lower it down some more, and see what happens. Alright, so that's a little bit better. I'm gonna leave it. They're still gonna settle at some point too, so I don't really need to nitpick the hell out of it, I guess. I really can't believe how low this shit is. Like on the coilover itself, like that distance that I was measuring, it was like 1 and 7/8, I think it was, between those top two washers and the bottom of the collar. But now this side, like the other side, it's still an 1 and 7/8 between the top two washers and that top of that collar. But this side now, I didn't measure it this last time, but it's like 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch or less probably. So it's a big difference between each side, but it's much better. So I'm gonna leave these how they are right now, and then I'm gonna adjust the backs. So you see how far the top of the collar here is to the bottom of the spring. That's quite a bit. So what we're gonna end up doing is basically we're gonna thread this piece down inside here so fucking far that basically like the spring will be like, I don't know, I'm gonna shoot for like 3/4 of an inch from the collar. So right now basically from the bottom of the spring to the collar it's 3 inches, but when I adjust it, it's going to be something like this. So the bottom of the spring is actually going to be all fucked the way down here, because we're going to be threading this whole piece, the sleeve part, we're going to be threading it way down in there. So now I can grab onto this and I can turn the whole thing, and now this whole sleeve is threading downwards into the collar here. So I'm going to go way down. And another thing that'll probably work is, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I measure from here, basically from here to the quarter panel, and then after I lower it a bunch, lower this down, what it's doing is by lowering this down, it's pulling the hub and everything up. So the measurements from right now will be a lot more than what it'll be when we're done. So we got exactly 16 inches from the top of that lip there in the hub to the quarter panel. So 16 inches. Now we'll turn the shit down so that way. Oh, my alarm's going off for work. Turn these off real quick. Alright, so turning these down and threading the sleeve down into the collar. And it's going to take a while. That's the shitty thing. When me and Eric, well, when Eric put these coilovers on the car the other night, we weren't even really thinking. So what we did was we just took the struts and springs off, and then measured them from hole to hole, from the top hole to the, well, not hole to hole because there's no holes on the top, but basically measured the length of it from the bottom hole to the top of the spring or whatever. And then when we adjusted these coilovers, we put them to the same heights basically. But we weren't thinking that, you know, the fact that coils and springs, or struts and springs, they collapse a lot more than coilovers. So now here I am having to go through each corner and lower the shit out of it, when it would have been much easier to do when they were off the car. But anyway, won't be a big deal. When I first put these on, they were this thing was like a monster truck. That's how high it sat. It was crazy. I really don't know why there's that much adjustability to go up that high, but like it was definitely a lot higher than stock ride height, how we had it originally. And there's still probably plenty of fucking threads left where we could have kept going up more if we wanted. But anyway, I'm gonna get this threaded down, do a little time lapse or something, speed the shit up for you. Alright, so we're getting close, and actually we're basically there. So yep, 3/4 of an inch. So I'm gonna lock this down. Good. I'll throw the wheel on this side, bang the other side out real quick, do the same exact thing. I won't show it in the video because it'll literally be the same exact thing. Should have made you guys watch this fucking whole turning down process because it fucking sucks. So like it'd be really fucking boring to watch, but trust me, I'd rather watch it than fucking do it. So from my hub to the quarter panel, it's about 13.5 inches. So came down quite a bit. It was 16, now it's 13.5. 2.5 inches is how far the hub and shit came up. So if you think about it, I mean, it's 2.5 inches of fucking ride height. So let me put this wheel back on. Alright, so just finished up. Both wheels are on, both sides are done. You can see where it used to rub. Both of the backs used to rub like a lot because the rear struts were just fucking blown. So it compressed so much under throttle, around corners and shit. So anyway, I'm gonna drop the shit down real quick and see what she looks like. And hopefully it's perfect first try, but I doubt it. Jesus, man, it's still fucking high. This side's good. This side's really good. I don't understand why. Same exact adjustments and everything. One side is different than the other, just like the front, but now it's the opposite side. So I'm gonna leave this because that's pretty fucking good. And then I'm gonna jack the car back up, take the other wheel off the other side, and try and lower that a little bit more if I can. It really don't have much wiggle room to fucking move the shit around, but I'll see what I can do. Alright, so I bring this one down a little bit more. Couldn't really go much, but we're fully maxed out. Like, we can't come down any more in ride height on this side because everything's squished together right here. So I measured from here to here and it's 13 inches. The other side was 13.5. And now this side is 13. So hopefully it gives us what we need. Alright, getting ready to load the car again. It's still fucking high though. I don't know, maybe it'll settle a little bit. I literally can't come down anymore, so the only other thing I could do is put more preload in it, which would give me more room, but I don't really want to do that. So I'm gonna drive it to work tonight, and maybe just driving it or something will fucking change. You know, let it settle. I don't know, but that's as good as we're gonna get tonight. It looks good though, aside from the left rear. The other three corners are perfect. Like, this side is a little bit lower than this side in the front, and it's the exact opposite on the back. So weird, really weird. So I'm gonna pick up my tools here and get ready to go to work. I got to change the oil in the caliber. Hopefully I have time to do that. I don't know what time it is right now, but gotta go to work. So, but I really wanted to drive this thing to work and not the caliber, because I mean, this shit's just fucking gay. I want to drive this, but I wanted the rod heights to be set first, so